Dawn dish soap is like the holy grail when it comes to clarifying locks, but I'm going to say something controversial and say that I think you can skip it. It was really huge back in the day to watch videos clarifying your locks using Dawn dish soap. In fact, it's actually still pretty popular today. Not only Dawn dish soap, but also other recipes such as using ACV for pH balance or mayo or eggs for softness, just a whole bunch of either natural or just using non-traditional hair product items to take care of your hair. And while before it was more difficult to find good, cheap hair products to be able to use, I think it's become easier than it was before. I think it totally made sense in that era. There was just a lot of experimentation. There wasn't as many products that were good to use for taking care of black natural hair. Just they weren't in existence. And with many of us having used heavy creams and products in our hair for moisturization, it really was important to have something to be able to clarify it. So I think Dawn dish soap, it totally made sense as a low cost way to be able to do that. With all that said, I still don't think it's necessary to use Dawn dish soap now. And just in general, I think it's less necessary to default to non-hair care formulated items. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying it's less necessary than it was before. And taking a look at Dawn dish soap, everyone has seen the videos of the cute little ducks being cleaned off of oil. We've all seen the videos of people using it to clarify their hair and get all the gunk out of their locks. But keep in mind, it's not formulated for hair. Thus, it's way more drying and can leave your hair brittle and your scalp itchy and flaky. And especially if you have locks, I'd be careful because one of the things that's recommended if you're going to use Dawn dish soap is to follow it up with strong moisturization afterwards. But that kind of defeats the purpose in my mind of using Dawn dish soap in the first place. So you're going to use it to clarify your hair, but then follow it up with heavy moisturization to combat brittleness and dryness that can happen from using this non-hair formulated product. And now you're left with heavy products that can build up in your hair. And especially if you have locks, that can be problematic. As for me, I've tried Dawn dish soap and it worked okay, but I honestly didn't think it worked better for me than other clarifying shampoos. And I'm on a quest to simplify my life, simplify my hair care routine. And I just didn't want to have to worry about using Dawn dish soap and having to follow up with something to like pH balance my hair or have to worry about, oh, maybe one day they'll change the formula and then one day I have chemical scalp burns because I've been using a product that's not formulated for hair. And of course, is that likely to happen? Probably not, but I just don't want to have to think about it. I feel like I have found hair products that work for me, and it's not necessary to rely on non-hair care products to achieve results. Of course, things do change. Like I used to use Neutrogena's clarifying shampoo. That was my holy grail. I used that all the time. It was so simple, so cheap, so effective, but of course, they discontinued it. But I did find a replacement. I do use now Paul Mitchell number 3, their clarifying shampoo. I also use their number 2 as well. Overall, I have found good replacements and I don't feel like I need to rely on Dawn dish soap to clarify my hair. If you found that it works for you, that's great. And like I said, I'm not saying that you should shy away entirely from using non-hair care formulated products. I think that there are a bunch of things that are worthwhile, specifically if you enjoy making your own recipes and figuring out what works for you, then I think, yeah, experimentation is great. Specifically, I think that it's worthwhile for making your own oil-based sprays or making your own water-based sprays. Those ones can be great to make sure that you're getting something very natural, all the ingredients that you want, and then it tends to also be pretty cost effective, particularly for the water-based sprays, because yeah, that's mostly just water, and you can get that pretty much for free. Yeah, that one ends up being very worthwhile to do yourself, particularly if you're doing something like a rose water spray or a saltwater spray. Super easy, super cheap to do yourself. I will say as well, the people who have experimented on their own, those are the people who started their own companies and have made products that we've been able to purchase. And they've also shifted the industry to be more inclusive and pushing the industry to create products that work for black hair as well, which honestly I think is really powerful. So while Dawn dish soap is a no for me, maybe it's a starting point for someone to create an amazing product for you. Thanks for stopping by. This is Locs Life. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think about Dawn dish soap and if you use it or if you have something else that you think works much better. All right. Bye, guys.